Let's talk about why patience and trusting your strategies or your setups definitely pays off. A lot of times in trading, FOMO tends to kick in. We tend to get a little anxious, like we feel the market's going to pass us by. So we start looking for things that are, realistically outside of our trade plan, and that's for me what has always gotten me into trouble. And over the years, I've learned to just be a lot more boring. And I know it's not exciting. I know sometimes it sucks. Sometimes you would have made money, but you have to look at this from a long term perspective. Where do we want to be in 6 months? Where do we want to be in 12 months? If you want to be in the same place that you're currently at now, then continue to do all the same things. And I'm not a type of educator who wants to sit here and preach to you that you have to do things my way, my setups, my strategies, my levels. There's a million different ways to skin this cat and make money in the market. And that's what's beautiful about the markets. The main thing that I want to focus on inside and outside around your particular strategies and my particular strategies is that patience is going to be the ruler above all. Okay. So let's talk about two of my setups. One of the setups that I like to play is looking for that 30-minute opening range break or the 10 a.m. reversal. Okay. So depending on how the price action wants to, correspond with the day is going to be really dependent on if we're looking for the opening range breakout or breakdown, or we're looking for that 10 a.m. reversal. Now, if you look at this big nasty drop here off the open, I'm sure a lot of people made money on the way down. But let's say, for example, you came into the market 5, 6, 7, 10 minutes late, or let's say you just hesitated, deer in headlights, and you didn't click the sell button, and now you're kind of sitting here wondering, wow, realistically, what should I do, right? What should I do? Do I chase the move down here, or do I not, right? And that's where that patience in trusting strategies that you play or that you look for on a day in and day out basis are going to help. So, for example, if we're looking for the 30-minute opening range break, well, here's your 30-minute low. Here's the break. So that's a first entry there. Okay. So taking that first entry would have paid, because if you kind of look at where the 30-minute opening range low was set, it was set 20 minutes off the open. And if you look at this candle here, this is the opening of the 10 a.m. hour candle here. So here is your low. And if you're going to take the breakdown on the first attempt, you definitely would have made money. But here's where you could also stay safe, right? Allow that 30-minute opening range low to break. Okay. Allow it to put in a new low, which becomes your pivot. Allow that new low to get broken before entry. A lot of times that will keep you out of jumping in here and then having to sit through this and getting stopped out. So patience, again, is coming into the play. But if you look at the 10 a.m. reversal, well, if this is the start of the 10 a.m. candle here, I want you to notice something, how this hammer candle is very, very strong. Okay, there's a big long tailing wick there showing you that buyers are comfortable stepping in. Now, we already know that if this continues to bounce and it loses that low, we want to be short. So that idea is on the table. But if that doesn't happen, and let's say we hold this low, we confirm the, not inverse hammer candle, we confirm the hammer candle, right, which is here, then you can use that previous low as a stop, and you can ride this dead cat bounce into supply, which on my chart is going to be the 20 SMA. Okay. Now here's a 20 SMA that sets up to the long side. However, no confirmation. So immediately we have to be thinking, okay, we put in a big drop, leg one down off the open. We had a little bit of a dead cat bounce, which provided a strong opportunity to get long. And now we are having failure to confirm, reclaiming that 20 SMA, reclaiming the swing low from pre-market. So yeah, you're going to miss out on some big money here, 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 here. But what you're going to do is save yourself for those potential days that it doesn't continue to do this. How many days have you watched the market start to sink, and it's the moment you get into the trade, it starts going the other way. And not only does it stop you out, it blows up your account. It just creates a lot of emotional stress. So you really almost want to wait for two sets of validation. You want the setup, and then you want the setup to get confirmed. So it's not just like, hey, we broke through the 30-minute opening range low, I need to be short, right? No, let's break through the 30-minute opening range short, and then let's confirm that level. Don't look at it as, okay, we reclaimed the 20 SMA, great, I'm going to jump in on this candle. No, wait for price action to close over the 20 SMA, and then wait for a following candle to confirm. So what you're always doing is you're constantly waiting, and you're constantly waiting. And you kind of have to look at your job as a very, very easy job. Your job is super boring. Sit there, listen to music, watch the news in the background, watch ESPN, watch sports in the background, whatever you're into. Join a Discord community with other traders, go back and forth, talk to them. All you're basically doing every day is killing a lot of time, just waiting. And finally, once you get the setup, and then you get the setup to confirm, then you're jumping in. So it doesn't matter if you're using a 30-minute opening range low. It doesn't matter if you're using a 10 a.m. reversal. It doesn't matter if you're looking for a 20 SMA short, a 20 SMA long. All you're doing is waiting. And if you just wait for those moves, even if you missed out on the flush off the open, you could have caught this bounce. And how would you have known that it was going to bounce? You don't. You're never going to know 100%. But if you build into your playbook looking for a 10 a.m. reversal or looking for the 10 a.m. continuation, which is a 30-minute opening range, you're going to look for a doji candle that suddenly stops and then having a following candle confirm the high. You're going to look for a hammer candle that suddenly stops, puts in no new low, and then has a following candle confirm that high. Because when that happens, the question that gets asked a lot is, well, how do we know that jumping in on a long position here, that it wasn't going to come down and take out the low? You don't. But what you know definitively is you have a max pain. This becomes your ultimate stop loss. If you start to break below that level, you get out of the trade. It's very, very clean, and it's very, very simple. So a lot of times traders are always wondering, well, how does this person know that the market was going to reverse? How does this person know that we were going to continue to break out? The truth be told is that no trader knows exactly it's going to work out. But, okay, you know where your max pain is at if that trade is technically invalid. That's how the trader A, who makes money trading, their particular setups, quote unquote, knows that the market's going to reverse. How they know that it's going to break down or break out, because they have found a setup, a particular pattern, and they're putting on a very defined level of risk, saying to themselves, as long as my stop loss is not hit or this chart is not technically damaged, I will trade it back to the long side. I will trade this short or long, whatever the case may be. That's how you have to look at things. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to trade with me each and every single day, make sure you guys join the Discord. Right now it's 50% off. I have one space available left for the 50% off. We just started the month of August. Get a fresh start, guys. If you've been on the fence, right now is a perfect opportunity with that price point. Also, Apex is back to an 80% off sale. So you guys can use my discount code DAnthony. You guys are going to save 80% on those evaluations. And perfect time to load up on evaluations so you can practice these type of methods. Practice waiting. Practice, the 10 a.m. reversal. Practice the 20 SMA. Practice using linear regressions. Practice the 30-minute opening range. No, what better way to do that than not risking your own capital, but by doing it on an evaluation with the potential to get that account funded and take some potential payouts. I'll see all of you guys, hopefully you guys on Monday, and hopefully you guys all have a fantastic weekend.